Greetings, vinyl community. It's been a long time, hasn't it? And it's taken Record Store Day to get me to pop up out of my hole, or my dungeon music room, as one might call it. It's been a long time, and yeah, sorry for my absence. Not that anyone was looking for a sorry, but been busy. It's COVID. We've had a heat wave where I am, but I'm not gonna blab on about my life because we got a lot to go through today. We got Record Store Day, second drop. First drop, I didn't do a video for, just to be different. But we're going to go through those titles. So we have so many records here. It's going to be a long video. So if I've seen my videos before, you'll know. Well, welcome back. First of all, thank you for clicking on this video again. It's going to go. This year we're going to go Record Store Day, second drop. Then we're going to go Record Store Day, first drop. Then we're going to go through new vinyl purchases. Then we're going to go through thrift store finds. That's kind of how the rigmarole goes for people who may not have seen my videos before. And if you're a new viewer, I think that's where my heart is. Thank you so much. I really appreciate you watching my video, and I hope you like what you see, and I hope you come back or watch my old videos. But those old videos. Anyways, oh yeah, and smash that like button. Just like the professionals say, just subscribe. That's my professionalism for today. Anyways, as you all know, we're going to start off with the big cheers today. It was a big Record Store Day today, second drop for me. I waited way too many hours in line today. I don't even want to say because I'm embarrassed. But it flew by pretty damn quick, and I was first in line, so I got my picks. So thank you to everyone in line who kept me company, and it was nice to be first and get everything I wanted for once. There's not going to be any regret this time around. So yeah, so we're going to go through Record Store Day, second drop right now, and then I hope you stay around. It's going to be a long video, probably my longest ever. But you know what? If you watch it all in one view, God bless you. If you want to come back and watch it in parts, I love you too. But I don't even know where I was going with that. But let's get to Record Store Day 2020. 2021, it's COVID. It's thrown everything off. Record Store Day 2021, second drop. Here we go. This is what I got this year. I picked this up because everyone and their dog and grandmother was talking about this record. And I went on YouTube, I saw a sample, and it seemed like fun. And it was there. I was first in line. It was going to sell out right away, so I picked one up just because of all the hoopla. I know what it is. I know. It's the Foo Fighters doing their Bee Gees thing, and then the B-side is some tracks recorded live in the studio off the last album by the Foo Fighters. And I'm not a big Foo Fighters fan. I do not own one of their records. I don't dislike them. I don't like them. They're kind of they're there for me. But I don't own any of their stuff, so I guess they cannot be there for me. But this is the Foo Fighters. If you don't know, this is the Foo Fighters' alter ego, the DGs, and it's called Hail Satin. It's their disco album. Look at that. At least they made an effort for Record Store Day. Nice reflective silver cover. And then I think there's like 4 or 5 disco Bee Gees tracks. They're done the Foo Fighters way, whatever way that is. And then the B-side is Foo Fighters live in the studio. So just got it because everyone talking about it, and maybe I'll like it. Maybe I won't. Who knows? Beastie Boys. Another one that I can't speak for all the stores in my city, but a lot of stores didn't seem to get a lot of stock, and this was one of my top 3 albums I wanted to get this Record Store Day. So I'm just making sure that the counter's still. It's been so long, I have to make sure it's still recording. Beastie Boys, this is their 1995 return to their hardcore. They used to be, if you don't know, there used to be a hardcore punk band, and then they morphed into the Beastie Boys, as we all know and love them. They went on to do Cookie Puss, and then, License to Ill and all. And we all know the history of the Beastie Boys. But then in 1995, they made a return to their hardcore punk rock roots with, I don't even want to pronounce it. I don't want to screw it up. Then everyone in the comment section will be like, you said it wrong, stupid. And by the way, for those of you who are brand new viewers, you must know that coffee is very important to me. So I go to the coffee well. I talk a lot. There's a lot of words crammed into my videos. I gotta remind myself to talk slower. I get a little bit excited. Anyways, I was happy to get this one. Not the stores in my city didn't get hardly any, so I'm sure in the Americas, your store had 50,000 copies of this, but my store had 3, and I was happy to get that. It's 10-track vinyl LP of their punk rock stuff. This was number 2. Not that we're counting down. This is not Casey Kasem. This is not America's Top 40 or whatever other Top 40 show that no one else out there is old enough to remember. But the Sisters of Mercy, the BBC sessions, 19. This is before their major label, their first album debut, which happened to be a major label. But this is consists of 3 BBC sessions, as hence the title. And there's 2 John Peel sessions, and then there's 1 Kid Jensen. If you're in the UK, you'll know what I'm talking about. But Kid Jensen was a popular DJ back in the 80s on the BBC. So this is all their. I don't think it's all their BBC sessions. It might be, but their first 3 early stuff before their first album, and I think there's a cover of 1969. And look at that! I just realized I bent it because I dropped it already. Might as well throw the thing out now. Anyways, that was number 2 on my list. Like I said, not that we're doing a countdown or anything, but that was number 2. And already I'm dropping shit left and right here. The Cure, which was number 1 on my list, Wild Mood Swings. I know it's a picture disc. I know. I didn't. You know what? I didn't pull. I'll get to that. The last record store day had a Cure picture disc, so I'll speak for both of them now. This one is Wild Mood Swings double. I think it's a double. It's a double picture disc. I don't have this. This is one of the 2 Cure albums that I do not have on vinyl. Yes, it'll come out in black vinyl later on, and yes, I'll buy that one, and I'll probably sell this one just to have that one because I would rather have the black vinyl version of it. But until now, this will suffice until the day passes when I can get black vinyl. And then I forgot to pull it for my first drop ones. I just realized, but they did Faith as a picture disc, which I already have on regular vinyl, and I just bought it because I'm a Cure collector. What are you gonna do? Anyways, Wild Mood Swings, one of their later, in quotations, albums. What was the song after? What was the one? The 13th was a single. Mint Car was a single off that one. And there's a few singles on that one. It's not the best Cure album, but it's a Cure album that I don't have. Pearl Jam, Alive. This is the I don't know if it's an anniversary issue, but it's a replica of the Alive single that came out on 12 inch. This one is 4 tracks, and then the B-side is an etching of the Stickman here. And once again, I'm not a massive Pearl Jam collector. I do have most of their albums, and this one just because it's from 10, which is an album that I fondly recall when I was in my 40s, or so it seems. And last but not least, definitely not least, for Record Store Day 2021, second drop. I didn't buy the farm. I didn't buy all of them, so it's not like I had a ton of. Maybe I could have talked more about these records, but we got a lot to go through today. So was Fear the record? My copy of Fear the record. The Fear is an early 80s Los Angeles punk bands, one of the best in my opinion, along with the Germs and X, and we can go on and on and on. But my copy of X, and I bent this corner too. Anyways, I tried carrying too many things down here in my dungeon basement. My original copy is just beat to hell. It's been played to hell since I've had it, since I was a teenager. So it's been reissued a few times. It's not one of those records that's in regular print, so you can go buy it anytime in the stores. But so I decided to wait for this one because it has the bonus 7-inch. And what else does it have? It has a stencil. Like I'll ever use that. But you know what? I'll break out the Christmas single. It's their Christmas single. If you don't know, 'Tis the Season to Give, Good and Cheer's Luck. I can't remember what the song is called now. The Christmas single. And I just realized I'm mumbling. My apologies. But Fear the record, one of the best punk albums ever, in my opinion. At least one of the best American punk albums ever. I'll say that. One of the best American punk records. Like I said, you get the bonus Christmas 7-inch, and you get a stencil that you'll never use, and I'm happy I have a brand new copy of it because it's an album I do listen to every now and again. So yeah, there you go. This was Record Store Day 2021 second drop, the year of the COVID. This will be my screenshot, by the way, so just don't mind me. Isn't that cute? Okay, so now what we're going to do is have a drink of coffee, and then we're going to get to some more Record Store Day stuff. Since I didn't run home and make a video, the first one, decided not to. Anyways, we're going to have a little talk about a band coming up, and it's going to go the video as long as it's going to go, because I want to say a couple things. Anyways, Tom Petty, Angel Dream. This was a reimagining of the She's the One soundtrack. We all know it's on opaque blue vinyl. I'm not going to talk too much about it because you've seen this in other videos already. There's probably 50,000 Record Store Day drop one videos out there. But this is just what I got. It's a reimagining of the She's the One soundtrack that he did. And it's good. It's got some Rick Rubin tomfoolery on here, kind of fixing some shit up. And it's good. It's a good album. This is one of those, I'm going to say this a couple times coming up. This is one of those bands that I buy now because I've bought every Record Store Day title they've done, and now I feel like if I don't get it, the collection, this is kind of like an OCD record collector's kind of problem. If I don't get every Record Store Day now, the collection's incomplete. Because I think, in my later years, I'll sell the lot, make a ton of money, or my widow will. And oh, by the way, I want to say shout out to my wife who drived by. That's goodly English for you. She drived by while I was waiting in line, and she was off somewhere else, and she dropped me off a coffee and brought my dog to say hello while I was in line today. So you know what? We're gonna stop to do a cheers to my wife for doing that. Thank you. Very, very sweet of her. So what I'm talking about here is U2. I've bought every Record Store Day title, and now I feel like if I don't continue the collection of Record Store Day titles, that the collection's incomplete. And I know that sounds ridiculous. Some of you out there might know what I'm talking about. It's just a thing. But this is the Fire Record Store Day. I don't even know how many tracks it is. 4. I haven't even played it yet. 4 tracks, picture discs. Actually, you know what? The other side is much nicer than this, but I'm not going to bore you with it. You've probably seen it. But yeah, U2. There's a couple other bands that if I don't pick up every title now they've done, that the collection's incomplete. So yeah. By the way, we're going through a heat wave, and if you see me sweat. But today, of course, Record Store Day, it's raining where I am while I was in line. Yeah, it's been like record-setting temperatures where I live. Trust me. And I said I wasn't going to talk about my usual stuff. We're not going to talk about it. Okay, this is one of those bands. I need to talk about this for a second, and this might relate to you. So if you're so inclined, please just hear me out, please. There's some bands you guys all know out there. If you're a new viewer, you probably don't know. I have a massive record collection. It's like ridiculous. It's way too big, is what it is. And there's some bands that even if you have the collection and the years listening to music that I do, there's some bands that just bypass you. And they're so critically acclaimed, and people just go on and on about certain bands, like I'm Grateful Dead and things like that. Although I'm not talking about the Dead. You feel something's incomplete with your listening experiences because you're just not into this band that everyone seems to love. And one of those bands for me, well, okay, I will say I do have one of this band's albums that I do think is really good, and I'm going to say the album is called Asia. So you know what band I'm talking about now. So, and I just can't get it through my head why this band doesn't register with me. I don't know why. and it's just a mental block. So I thought I would try to unblock that and get a couple of their record store day titles that were reissued for first time on vinyl. And of course, I'm talking about Steely Dan. Don't fast forward yet. I'm still talking about this. Anyways, and I'm trying to look over here because, as you know, last video, new phone, new camera, and the camera placement's different. Anyways, I got Two Against Nature, which was their multi-Grammy award-winning album. I think they won 4 Grammys for this album. So kind of like Billie Eilish. She won a ton of Grammys for that last album she did. And you think there must be something to it. It's like, it's won all these Grammys and people are talking about it and you feel like you're missing something because you don't have it. So although the Billie Eilish album, it's okay. I have it. It's, you know, it's there. But this one won a ton of Grammys when it came out. This one, I can't remember what year this came out. I want to say 93, but I don't think it was. Oh, fuck, am I off? I'm way off. It's 2000. I'm way off on that one. But anyways, Two Against Nature. Okay. And then they released, at the same time, they released the follow-up to that, which ended up being the last album they ever did because obviously Walter Becker is no longer with us. But this one is Everything Must Go. Steely Dan. For those of you who don't know, I'm going to reposition myself here. Steely Dan, jazz rock, there's some funk in there, and it's, you have to be of a certain mindset to like that kind of music. And I like Asia just fine, and we're going to revisit this topic probably in hour 6 of this video. But I know if you're a Steely Dan fan, you're saying, what the hell's wrong with you? Or, oh my God, you must listen to this album. Trust me, I've got most of their albums through thrift stores. I'm on it. I'm trying. I'm not going to give up. I never want to be ignorant of a band or a style of music or a genre of music, so I'll dip my toe into the waters of Steely Dan, and I bet those are some pretty icky waters. I need to thank Anthony at AGK Vinyl Life, who's on YouTube. You can please look him up. You can look him up on Instagram. I'm friendly with Anthony, and this was my #1 album from the first drop that I didn't get. My city, I think, had 2 copies total through, I don't know, 6 or however many stores participate. And of course, in Toronto, where Anthony lives, of course, they were bigger center, so I'm sure more copies went to Toronto than out west in Canada. Anthony was nice enough to pick this up for me, and thank you, Anthony, once again for picking up my #1 pick that I didn't get on the day. Was Tears for Fears, live in Toronto, Massey Hall, 1985, which is the audio taken from that Scenes from the Big Chair film they had on videotape and back in the day in the 80s. But this is the audio from that concert. I've seen the concert a million times on video and MTV and elsewhere when I was young. But this is finally the recorded document of it on audio. And that was my #1 find. And it was good. I was happy. I'm happy I paid the price for it. So thank you, Anthony, for that. We're going to talk, hey, we're going to, this might be the last that I have for 2021 first drop. But I want to talk about this because there was a series of albums that came out from the Nebworth Festival. And if you know the records that came out for the first drop, you know what I'm talking about. There was Steely Dan. We don't need another one. There was Status Quo. And then there was these 2 bands here that released, Nebworth is a big festival in the 80s. All the money went to charity. And these are some of the bands that did, there was one of those ones where 1,000 bands were on the bill and every big name was on the bill. And yeah. So they released, I think, 3 albums by 3 artists or bands that were at Nebworth. And I thought, oh my God, I love this band. I love this band. I'm going to pick these up. So one of them is awesome. And one of them is really pissed me off a lot. So I'm going to talk about this one first. This is the one that pissed me off a lot. This was Genesis live at Nebworth Festival. And it's 2 songs. And I will tell you right now, I didn't know what the track listing was when I picked these up. When I got into the store on the first drop, I grabbed, and it looked interesting, and I grabbed them, and off I went because you only had limited time in the store, and you made your mind up in a few minutes, and you had to leave, and that was fine rules by me because there's a lot of people, you want to make it fair for everyone. So I grabbed these as an afterthought, kind of before leaving, before going to the till, and love Genesis. The first song is Mama, which is fine. One of my favorite Genesis tracks. Great. And I realized there's only one other song for the price of what I paid for this, and it's Turn It On Again. Like, we need that song again, ever. But then it Turn It On turns into this big 50s and 60s medley of songs. Like, we need Genesis doing Pinball Wizard and Twist and Shout and In the Midnight Hour and Everybody Needs Someone to Love, and just Genesis. I mean, 2 tracks. One of them is fucking god awful. Sorry for swearing. I won't do it again. It's fucking god awful. And what a rip. And I feel genuinely, for the first time, ripped off by a Record Store Day title. This is the one I did pick up that I did like, was Robert Plant, Live at Nebworth Festival. And there's 4 songs, one with Jimmy Page on guitar, and it's 4 awesome songs, and that's how you do it. This one was actually, they were only $24.99. Still, that's $25 out on the Genesis album. Fuck. Anyways, lesson learned. I'm going to look at the track listing from now on and no last minute tries, because that was just, for $25 I could have got a record that I really wanted. So if you want that Genesis record, it's sitting in the pile of dirty laundry I have over there. Just come over and take it. Anyways, Robert Plant, Live at Nebworth Festival, 4 tracks. Awesome. All right. So that was what I got, and the Cure album, which I talked about, the Cure Faith picture disc, which is, I forgot to pull. Because I will tell you something right now. This is the second time I filmed this video. The first time, I don't know what I did. The audio did not sync up with the video. I don't know what I pressed. It's a new phone. I don't know. So I gave it a few weeks. I'm going to try this again. But we're only going to do 1 take. I challenge you guys out there who make vinyl videos. You guys go as long as this with continuous talking. Anyways, we're going to go to some new record finds. Not finds, purchases. Although I did find them in stores or online. These are kind of newer issues of records and stuff like that. I'm explaining this for people who might not have seen my videos before, because a lot of people for Record Store Day videos, they click on videos for the first time, and welcome. I'm Dave, I talk too much, but I have lots of good music to show you. But I got a copy of David Bowie, The Man Who Sold the World picture disc. These are going back a few weeks now, or maybe even a month, because I haven't done a video in a while. But picture disc, and I'm a Bowie collector, full stop. So picture discs, I don't care. I didn't need this. Did I want it? Yeah. Man Who Sold the World picture disc with a poster inside. One day I'll talk about my feeling about posters inside records. Although I think I did on the last video. I did the Triumph album, the box set record. I'm of an age where I'm not. Some people take the posters and frame them, and that's fine. Good for you, and I'm happy for you. But I'm not 16. I'm not going to pin these on my wall. I don't need posters. I just don't. All right. I need extra bonus tracks is what I need on records. I got this yesterday. Voivod, The Outer Limits. This was their 7th studio album. And it says number 8, but I think that's including the Greatest Hits album that they released. Montreal, Quebec's own Voivod, The Outer Limits. I think this was their last major label record they did before their lead singer Dennis Boulanger left. One of their best albums. Insane. The second track, or side 2, I can't remember how long the song Jack Luminous is, but it's their longest ever track. I want to say 17 minutes, but I don't think that's right. Anyways, Voivod, first time on vinyl, and I have it, The Outer Limits. If you're into technical, progressive metal, you can't do better than Voivod. Helloween, the new Helloween album. and I just ordered it, and I didn't know what I was getting. I got the 3D vinyl. When it spins, there's two pumpkins that dance on the holograms on the vinyl. Follow me on Instagram, by the way, and I filmed a video of it. You can see it on Instagram. NAZZ_NOMAD is my handle on Instagram. Anyways, Helloween, brand new album. And it's the Pumpkins United lineup, which is their classic lineup with Michael Kiske and Kai Hansen is back. And then they got the newer lineup with Andy Darris on vocals. So there's two vocalists now, well, three with Kai Hansen, but there's like three guitar players. It's like a mega lineup now. This is their first kind of, I'm going to call it reunion album of that classic. They're not all quite there because one's dead, but their classic Keeper of the Seven Keys lineup. This is their, and comeback album, you call them comeback or reunion albums a lot of bands make, are complete shit because they just lost that magic. Helloween have not lost the magic. It's simply called Helloween. This is the triple vinyl version, and I can't stop listening to it. It's so good. Like, seriously, if you're hedging on this album, I mean, it's kind of hard to hedge on albums nowadays because everyone has access to a phone and YouTube or streaming, so it makes it easier now. But it's just great album. It's just called Helloween, but the meshing of the lineups, the newer and the older, it just works. And I hope they keep this going because they're getting of an age where they'll probably need to think about retirement soon, relatively speaking soon. And I hope they keep this lineup together and they can make their money touring and we can enjoy some great music from the reunited Helloween. So cheers. All right. 1,000 Homo DJs, which is basically Ministry. Back in the day, Ministry used to have 5,000 side projects, and 1,000 Homo DJs was one of the actually better known ones because the song Supernaut, which this is a 12-inch for, was you heard it in a lot of kind of alternative clubs at the time, but they turned this into a 7-track reissue on purple vinyl. I love this. Look at this. I've never seen this before. Limited edition purple vinyl, and you probably won't be able to read this. In small print under purple vinyl, it says simulation only, because they don't want you to see the vinyl and complain that it's not purple enough. It's simulation only. Come on. Anyways, the only thing I want to say about this is one of my favorite EPs ever. Ministry is one of my favorite bands ever. I love all their side projects. This is our reissue. Al Jorgensen has allowed Cleopatra Records, the shadiest record label on earth. They must pay him a ton of money for rights to reissue that kind of older stuff, like the stuff that was on Wax Trax Records and whatnot. But they've been doing a pretty good job so far with the reissues that they have done. This is not one of them. The first track, the regular version of Supernaut's good, and then I don't know if they sourced the other songs off of an old demo tape that's a 5th generation, but to say these are master tape cuts from Al's vault, I can't believe that because the rest of it is just god awful. Save your money, buy an original one on YouTube or eBay or Discogs. The sound is horrible. I'm not going to throw this one because at least it has the one song I like. Sounds good. This has been out for a while, and my local record stores, I like to support them. I guess I do buy off Amazon and other places, but one of my local record stores in town was doing a little flip of all their new releases, and this is probably in that top 20 favorite albums of mine of all time. And I realized I don't have this version of this album, and once again, I don't need it, but I wanted it. It came out as part of Rhino Music's Peace and Love of Summer '69 series they brought out a while ago, and they had some old stock of this one. This is the Monkees' Head on silver vinyl, and I have the deluxe audiophile reissue of it, and I think I sold my original Cool Gems pressing of it, but the other one, but this is a good version. If you see this one with this sticker and you see it at a good price, it's a good quality version. So the Monkees Head. If you haven't seen the movie or heard the soundtrack, then you've not really had the full experience because it's not the Monkees. I mean, in the movie, well, yeah, the Monkees die in the first 5 minutes. They jump off a bridge and supposedly drown. That's awesome. Anyways, I love that album, and I bought it. It's on silver vinyl. Didn't need it. I wanted it. The new Crowded House record called Dreams Are Waiting. This album has been getting such great reviews, and I have not. First of all, Neil Finn of Crowded House and Split Ends and blah blah blah, his own damn self as a solo artist. He's one of my heroes. He's one of my songwriting heroes. Um, I just love his lyrics, and I'm not a lyric person, but I listen to his lyrics because they kind of resonate with me somehow. And I love everything he's done. There's been a few dodgy solo albums that I haven't been kind of quite on board with. Excuse me while I position myself once again. I have a bad back. And the last couple Crowded House albums have been, and then he goes and reforms them for this album, except for it's just him and Nick Seymour, the original bass player. They were only a trio ever. And then they had Mark Hart, I believe it was, who augmented on organ and guitar for many albums and tours. And then Neil Finn wipes the slate clean. He has Nick Seymour back, and then he has his whole family. It's like the Partridge Family now, which kind of was a bit off-putting to me. But I guess it's his life, it's his art. If he wants to make it with his family now, so be it. Nick Seymour's there, so it is Crowded House-ish, and it's their better. It's their best post reunion albums. This is, I think, their third reunion album since they broke up and were away for a long time. But it's a solid 7 out of 10 or 8 out of 10. It's good to very good. It didn't blow me away, and maybe it will on for the listings. Finally, I've just never owned this album on vinyl, and once again, this is the power of a record store doing a flip through video on Instagram. Is that I saw this, and I love this album, and it's one of those albums I've just never gotten around to picking up on vinyl. Everyone has those albums. You see, I don't have that on vinyl. I want this, and I want it now. Sleater-Kinney, Dig Me Out. A lot of people call this one of the best punk albums of all time. At least kind of like later punk albums from the 90s or 2000s. Is it punk? I don't know. Genres. I don't know. I wouldn't necessarily say so, but it's three girls making incredible, loud music. Thrashing, loud music, and I love it. And I love this album. And this, if you don't know, this is a exact replica of a Kinks album cover. There you go. They ripped off. They ripped them off. It's a homage to the Kinks. And they had an album just like that. Anyways, Dig Me Out. I don't know what else I got to say about this album. If you don't have it, you need it. It's just that good. And I only got a couple more of new records to show you. Then we're going to go to thrift store finds, which a lot of you come here for. The thrift store finds. I know. This is the latest in the new Blue Note audiophile series. Everyone's jumping on the jazz audiophile affordable vinyl bandwagon since Tone Poet series is going so well. That series is doing so well that there's a couple other labels now jumping on the Impulse Records is one of them, jumping on the audiophile jazz bandwagon at an affordable price. Because there's a market there. But this is the latest in the Blue Note audiophile reissue series, mastered by Kevin Gray. If you see an album and it says mastered by Kevin Gray, it's going to be excellent. Trust me on that one. Trust me. It's good sound. I can't vouch for the music, but the quality will be awesome on vinyl. This is Joe Henderson, page 1. And I used to have, in my early days of selling records at record fairs, I had an original pressing of this that I found at a thrift store. It might even be one of my old videos, like one of my first videos. I might have showed this album. And I sold it because a lot of times I will sell a lot of my collection to afford trips to go to Europe all over the place. You guys know that. And not all of my, all stuff that will get me money. And I sold it. But this is even better sounding than that one. So Blue Note, you did a good job. Or Universal Music, you did a good job getting Kevin Gray on board, and it's an affordable price, and they sound incredibly good. Like I said, the original Blue Note records were never known for their good. Here's a little secret: the original Blue Note vinyl, they're not that great sounding. They're not crap, but they're not great. Sorry if you disagree, but it's like the original Elektra Records pressings were not great. So this is a case where not having an original Blue Note, I'm not impressing anyone. My dog is not impressed I have an original Blue Note Joe Henderson. He's just not. So, I mean, it's like I have people over to impress. So, I think this it's better. It's better. So I don't feel bad about selling that one. A couple of music on vinyl titles. They're not one is brand new, and one is an older one that I didn't know they did, and I had to have it. Anyways, the Church Starfish. Music on Vinyl has brought this out as I think it's the only vinyl reissue that's been done in a long time. And if you don't know the Church, their big single was Under the Milky Way, but they are so much more than that. And this album arguably is their finest moment. Just a great band and a great album, and it's music on vinyl, so it sounds great. However, I know a lot of people argue about, well, music on vinyl they don't make known what their source material is. Is it the original vinyl masters? What is it? And blah, blah. I don't care. If it sounds good, it sounds good. And I'm sure with music on vinyl, it's kind of like a mix. Sometimes they're taken from high quality, audio rips. And sometimes they're probably original master tapes. I don't know. They don't disclose that. But anyways, I have not heard a music on vinyl album that I haven't liked for the pressing of it. So it's my favorite reissue label, which I've said a million times. But the Church Starfish, great. Now, if you would do the Chameleons catalog music on vinyl, please. And the last one is, I didn't even know that music on vinyl did at least I know of one Cure album they did. They did 17 Seconds. I didn't know. And guess what? It sounds way better than my original that I've had since I was 18 or 17, way back in the 1800s. And they've done an incredibly good job. It's a replica fiction label, and it's just 180 gram vinyl. It sounds fantastic. Not a pop or a clip, not a pop or a click to be heard. So another two. This one is still available if you look around online, and this one's brand new release. But these two music on vinyl reissues are stellar. This is probably one of the Cure's most depressing albums next to Pornography, but it's still a great album. Anyways, there you go. Guess what? We're on to thrift store finds. And I only pulled half of what I've got because I got to save some for another video, because it's been a little bit slow lately for vinyl finds in thrift stores. So, and there might be a couple here that weren't thrift stores, and in the interest of transparency, I'll disclose that to you, the viewer. Okay, thrift store finds. Once again, if you follow me on Instagram, this is not a plug for my Instagram. This will just be saying, for those people who are on Instagram who watch my videos, you'll know that I posted these on Instagram in picture form, usually of me finding them at thrift stores, being a jump the gun asshole and post them on Instagram. But you'll see a lot of these finds on Instagram as I find them in the thrift store, in case you all don't believe me. Kraftwerk Autobahn. I found a Philips Records pressing, and this is clean as clean gets, and this is the best upgrade I've ever found for a Kraftwerk Autobahn for a mere $2.99. So yeah, Nothing more I can say about that record. It's Autobahn. It's Kraftwerk. I found a Columbia 2i pressing in the shrink with the original price tag of Herbie Hancock Headhunters. One of the finest jazz albums of all time. And the original price tag was $6.29 from a department store that's the last department store standing in Canada is this one, the Bay, Hudson's Bay. $6.29 it was when it was new, Columbia 2i. I already have a 180 gram audiophile repressing of this album, but I'll compare and contrast. Depeche Mode, an original mute UK pressing of Construction Time Again. You all know, if you're a new viewer, you probably don't know, I have a massive Depeche Mode collection. Depeche Mode's my #1 collection for size. It's hundreds of items. But I'm not one where I have to have every single variant of every album. And this, I can't be bothered. But this is an original mute UK pressing, which I'll be keeping because it sounds fantastic. Up until last couple of weeks ago, the thrift store finds were they were just insane. And then the last 2 weeks now they've dried up. And so that's why I'm going to show these all now and save some for next video because I don't know if I'll have enough to have another video readily available soon. The Doors, LA Woman. I don't know what issue this is. It's a red Electra label, but it's not original because it includes Love Her Madly, which I don't think was on original pressings. It's a red Electra label. I've not yet listened to it, but it's visually speaking, it's an upgrade. So we'll see. We'll see if the red Electra label pressing thing I talked about it holds true for this one. But it's an upgrade. Oh, and I think sorry. And the original ones had rounded cover, had a rounded sleeve, didn't it? They're kind of rounded. So yeah, I knew it wasn't original, but now that confirms. Suicidal Tendencies join the army with a ripped album sleeve. UK Virgin Records. I used to see Suicidal Tendencies a million years ago play local community halls here when they would make the trip up from Los Angeles and do the Western swing like a lot of punk bands did. And I've seen Suicidal Tendencies on this tour and on their first tour album they did. And it has Possessed to Skate on it. What more do you need from this album? It's classic. I found a couple albums by this band, but of course I didn't put these in order. But we'll get to that album when I get to it. I found Queen, Day at the Races. I have the newer versions, so I don't know if I'll necessarily keep these ones, but it's a Canadian Elektra Records pressing. The vinyl is nice. The cover, when I tend to find this album in the wild, the covers it's always this white ring wear here, but it doesn't bother me. Like I always say, I don't play the cover, but for complete's sake, I might want to see if I can source out a better cover for this one. But anyways, Queen, Day at the Races. I'm going to pull 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This was at a thrift store this might have been the last of my decent thrift store finds. 4 albums that I just had to get them. They were at a thrift store and it was 40% off day. So not only did I get this haul, this and a lot more, there's a Bowie haul coming up from the same haul. I must have got 20 records that day and it was 40% off media day, which is records and, videos, tapes, and beta, video 8. Anyways, you don't see these at thrift stores, except for one of them, which I'll save till last, because, yeah. So, I will say these are all bands that I don't listen to their music. Tame Impala, Currents. This might be the only one of this lot that I keep, because I hear good things about them from people I trust. So I might keep this record, but thrift store find Tame Impala, Currents. This one, I'm not familiar with this band, and I haven't had time to listen to it yet. There's a band called Purity Ring, and I think they're Canadian because it's on Last Gang Records, so Canadians might recognize this album. Don't know anything about it, but I know it's a brand new album that a lot of people like. Drake, I found Drake. What's this album called? Take Care. I don't even know Drake's music. I don't know Drizzy's music. Double vinyl. And I see the barcode's crossed out, so maybe it was a promo copy. Were these all promo copies? No. Anyways, that's the only reason I could find for having the barcode struck out. But anyways, Drake, Take Care. You know what? Someone I know will want it. Lana Del Rey, Ultra Violence. I couldn't tell you a Lana Del Rey song. And I like new music, don't get me wrong. I've just not ventured into the waters of Lana Del Rey. You can't listen to everyone. And there's a mighty fine looking girl, but I don't know anything about her. But I'll listen to it. I'll find out what she's all about. And my DJ partner, Jay, commented on Instagram, is this the second or third time you found this album at a thrift store? And it is. I found one about a month ago, which is going to AGK Vinyl. Anthony, it's coming your way. And I found another copy of the Arctic Monkeys. AM. The third time I found this record at a thrift store. I currently have 2 of those records, and I think I sold the other one. But yeah, this one I'm going to keep. Just because. Let's skip that one. This one will come later. A couple of dance records that I really love that I found recently, and the records that I've been wanting on vinyl for a long time, is the first 808 State album, 80890. One of the top 5. Oh, here I'm doing lists again for you. One of the top 10. One of the top 5 electronic albums for me. Original UK pressing I found. And Beats International, which is essentially Norman Cook, who is Fatboy Slim, who was in the House Martins. After the House Martins, he did this band called Beats International, and the album's called Let Them Eat Bingo. And they were vastly underrated. They didn't do anything on our side of the ocean, but they have a song called Dub Be Good to Me, which was a hit in the UK. Dub, D-U-B, Dub Be Good to Me. Insanely good track, and I'm happy I found this album. Not all of it's great, but there's enough good stuff on it. And you know what? Here's the band I'm going to talk about again. I found Troisième Toi, 3 Steely Dan albums at thrift stores, and I'm going to listen to them. I'm going to give it a try, and I bet these will go into my sell pile. I got The Royal Scam, I got Pretzel Logic, and I got Katie Lied. So now I have 5 Steely Dan albums that I probably don't want, but I'll listen to them. Here's the other Queen album I found. This is odd because I never find a clean white version of this in the wild, and at a thrift store to find this with a nice beautiful white cover, I've never found one. And upgrade for me. So I found 2 Queen albums the same day. That and Night. Did I say A Day at the Races? Night at the Opera, of course. Of course. What fool doesn't know that? I'm going to try to get this done on the 1 hour mark. My longest video ever, I think. This one's for the people who are fans of the Byrds and all that. I've just never seen this album. It's a 1980 album by Roger McGuinn and Chris Hillman with Gene Clark. I've just never seen this album before. I haven't listened to it yet either, but I like Roger McGuinn. Chris Hillman's all right by me. Gene Clark? Sure, throw him in the mix. It's a very 80s looking album cover, isn't it? Them as big business guys. Haven't heard it yet, but can't offer an opinion, but I found that at a thrift store. And I found someone donated like a surf collection. And I'm going to go through this quickly and not pretend I know, but I found 3 Dick Dale albums. This one's in the shrink called Dick Dale and His Deltones, an original Capitol Records pressing of Checkered Flag. I found an original Capitol Records pressing of King of the Surf guitar. And I found an original pressing of Dick Dale and his Deltones Summer Surf. I don't see Dick Dale albums in the wild at thrift stores. I think that was probably the first time. And the albums are clean. And another surf band, which I don't know, but it was in that hall of, or that collection that was donated to a thrift store. But this one looked interesting, is a band called the Astronauts. And I don't know anything about them. This is called Everything is A-OK. So I'll listen to those. The Dick Dales I'll keep for sure. I'm a Dick Dale fan. All right, Bowie haul. Someone donated some Bowie albums. I got a copy of Changes to Bowie. I'm not going to talk to you about David Bowie albums because you guys know all about them. I got a nice upgrade copy of Changes 1 Bowie. So Changes 1 and Changes 2. I see this one all the time. This one I don't see at a thrift store very often, especially not clean. I found David Bowie's another Face, which I think is part 2. There was a first volume of this, which is kind of like his early material, pre Space Oddity, like the Laughing Gnome kind of years. I'm not a big fan of those years, but I'm a Bowie fanatic and a Bowie collector. And I found a compilation album called Golden Years. You've probably all seen this one. I've never bought it before because I just never did. But now I do. All right, so I might hold this one back. Tesla original. I think it's green. This is green vinyl, and it's a fold-out cover. I'm gonna fold it. Tesla, Edison, which was their first single off of their excellent album Psychotic Supper. See, it folds out. It folds out, and there's the green vinyl. One of the best Tesla songs ever. But nice fold-out gimmick cover. Look at the 12-inch for Foreigners, Low Down and Dirty, the album they did without Lou Gramm. I like that album, so. Quadraphonic version of MFSB, Love is the Message. Quadraphonic. And of course, the big song off of here was, what was it? I don't remember now. Anyways, I found a quadraphonic pressing of MFSB, Love is the Message. Sounds fantastic, by the way. If you've got 4 ears. That's a Mike Oldfield joke. Anyways, try keep on fixing my glasses because I bent them. It's annoying. Doro, which is her first album as Doro after Warlock, but then they added the Warlock tag because it is Warlock, but they kind of rebranded themselves Doro and put her up front. So it's Doro Pesh and her band Warlock. Force Majeure. Never had this on vinyl. Now I do. And a copy of Wrathchild America. This one was not from a thrift store. I don't even know where I found this one. I think it was $15, but it's one of my. It was one of those thrash '90s metal albums I've always wanted, and it was a fair price. I'm going to cherry pick here because I'm going to close this down right away. But Hunter Ronson, which is an album that most people don't even know that came out, was Mick Ronson and Ian Hunter. Mick Ronson from the Spiders of Mars, David Bowie, and he was briefly in Mott the Hoople with Ian Hunter, and they did this solo album. No, it was the meeting of them once again, and it was supposed to be an album to relaunch their careers, and it did nothing. The label staff had turned over, and then they just buried the album, and it has an odd title too, R-U-I Orta. I'm sure it spells something, but I couldn't be bothered to try to figure it out. And like I said, it's more of a harder 80s rock sound. It's a good album, but like I said, it just kind of got buried in the shuffle. And 1989, I think it is. Oh, I better cherry pick here. Once again, this is not a thrift store find. I bought this from a store locally, but I gave mine to one of my friends, and I've been looking for this, and then I found out it's not an easy record to find, despite me thinking it was. Kentucky Headhunters' first album, Picking on Nashville. Love this album. Finally got a replacement copy. Oh my God, some of these are going to have to wait for next video. I got a really nice upgrade of Tears for Fears, first album, The Hurting. I got the second Soul to Soul album called A New Decade. I'm just grabbing now, just grabbing because I'm running out of time. Helix, Canadian metal band. Some of you might know Helix. This was their album before their big album, Walking on a Razor's Edge, called No Rest for the Wicked. What's it? This must have heavy metal love on it. Yes, it does. Oh, I'm going to save that for another video. Save that for another video. Modern Jazz Quartet on Apple Records. I have some of their other albums, but I've never seen one of their albums on Apple Records. Of course, the Beatles record label. Picked it up for that reason. Best of Dave Edmunds of Rockpile and his good old self. The Guess Who, Canned Wheat in original shrink with hype sticker. As seen on TV, $4.98 for the Guess Who. I'm going to have to cherry pick big time here. Oh yeah, got a copy of Muddy Waters, Hard Again, which is a great album. I think it's the second time I found this recently. Good blues compilation called the Harmonica Blues. And it has like Sonny Boy Williamson and Sonny Terry and people like that on it. I found yet another gold vinyl version of Styx Cornerstone. Is it Cornerstone? Pieces of Eight. See, I'm rushing now and screwing up album titles. Pieces of Eight by, it's the gold vinyl version of that album. What else am I going to show you? I'm going to save some for next video so I have another video. Because I still have tons and tons more here to show you. Oh, Pat Travers. I think this is his first solo album. This one has Boom Boom Alcohol Lights. What else am I going to show you? I think we're going to wrap it up at that. But I think that's enough of me, isn't it? I got 2 minutes and 30 seconds to kind of have my outro here. Thank you for watching my video. Yes, I talk fast. Yes, I breeze through stuff, but I hope you liked what you saw. Really good thrift store finds. I hope you enjoyed seeing those ones. It's been a good summer so far. Not for weather. It's been hotter than a motherfucker. But anyways, actually, I shouldn't complain. It's better than -30 that we normally have. It's actually been quite nice. I apologize for being away for so long. Just kind of life gets in the way sometimes. And please come back. Subscribe if you want. Follow me on Instagram. And I appreciate everyone who ever watches my videos. I appreciate it. If you subscribe, thank you very much as well. I appreciate that. Like I said, for anyone who's ever watched one of my videos, thank you. I hope you enjoyed my record store day finds. And from a very, very exhausted, I was up at 3 a.m. today. From a very exhausted David Michael, aka Nazz Nomad, I want to say peace to y'all. My remote. I want to say peace to everyone, and I hope everyone stays safe. And I hope to see you next time. Take care, everyone.